الو. تمام. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كل عام وانتم بخير، رمضان كريم علينا وعليكم. عندنا ايفنت الكتب، راح يعطينا دبل كتب مرتين. طبعا لازم استغل هذا العرض عشان نجمع كتب.
You got this.
Be cleansed.
اه.
يا اخي وش تحكي زي ما تقول؟ بعرض تقديم لازم كانك دكتور تقدم على العمل، لازم تدخل مع المدير بشكل لا.
والله.
وخليك لا تنهي معي عادي، هي لا تصنع.
طب عادي بصنع عشان قاعد.
قصدي احكي على طبيعتك، لا تخاف، ليش تخاف؟
Without further ado.
You should take it. It may prove useful.
خلصنا اول كتاب، بدنا نروح على الكتاب الثاني.
There you are, eavesdropper.
Fall in. Light compels you.
Be cleansed.
There is no harm in claiming forsaken possessions.
Lofty wisdom will show us the way. Without further ado.
Rally. Charge. While the light shines bright, behold the dawn.
The sky's clear, the glazed moon shines. The more, the merrier. Wayne,
Go get him, Aiden. Advance.
let me amuse myself a little.
Begone, shadow of darkness. Fall in.
Divine light, shield them. Shine no longer.
في هون كلب بظل ينبح على هذا ولا لا عارف شو قصده. مش حابب اتعمق بقصته اصلا. تمام. قديش ضل عندنا؟ معنا 120. مين بدنا نبني؟ كولومبينا اصلا بدها قطع من هذا. كيف بدنا؟ شو ضل عندنا الساعة؟ بدي ابني هذا. ليفل اب 10 60. بده اثنين، بدنا اثنين من هذا حتى وصل ل70. بنجيبهن. بقول له لازم نقتل هذا. طب هذا هل يستحق او لا؟ يا زلمة نجرب. شو ورانا؟ راحت البروت. فرنشيب 3. بعد انا مش فاضي لك يا زلمة. روح يا زلمة. انا راح اقاتل واحد ثاني. يا زلمة روح اختفي يا زلمة ازنخك. مش عارف. قمت هذا وهذول وخليت مثلا بدي شخصيتين. خليت هاي. بدي واحد يسيف. خلي هذا ولا خلي هذا؟ خلي هذا. عندنا بنجرب.
Commencing task.
ايوه دقيقة. بدنا نضحي نحن هالساعة. تعال.
Allow me to guide the way.
Cleanup sequence initiated.
Observe. Do you fear the dark?
Clear skies.
Let's finish this swiftly. Close your eyes.
يا زلمة حكيت نقيت.
Insulation chamber deployed.
سم تتخوف يا زلمة. ايه شو يقنع اخته صار.
Cleanup sequence initiated.
Be silent. Night falls.
فسيت انت يعني حكيت بالاخير.
Clear skies.
I'm just be shot.
Let's go. Close your eyes. Be silent. Do you fear the dark?
بكرة داري.
Clear skies.
حاط ميوت.
لا
صور.
انا بتخوفش.
Why you did not.
Why you do not do.
حط الطويل سوف.
ايه هذا بنادي كراي. تعال تعال.
isolation chamber.
Wait. Pre-moon converge.
Be cleansed. The sky's clear. The glazed moon shines. Rah! Ha! Ah! Smite to dust. Ah! Ad Astra Abyssal. Thank you for completing today's commission. Ad Astra.
Huh? Where's Columbina? Paimon doesn't see her anywhere.
Over here.
Oh!
Come join me.
What are we getting ourselves into this time?
Do you remember those stones we went out to gather last time?
Last time?
Correct.
Darker ones and lighter ones? But why?
مهمات كولومبينا علشان تقدر تاخذ الجناح تبعها
Oh, you've never played?
او جناح نودوكراي بشكل عام.
Ever since seeing the grids the children of the Frost Moon Scions.
Well, what are
هاي
the
كل اسبوع او كل 3-4 ايام بيعطيك مهمة.
It'll be easy.
Whoa! That's amazing! How did you do that?
With a little
شوية مهارات
Kavaki,
جديدة
of course.
لكولومبينا.
You can't do that?
Maybe you should lower your expectations. We're not all
واهلا
playing
وسهلا
dances.
بالجميع. وصلتوا نودوكراي خلصتوه ولا بعدكم؟
As you wish. Now, this is the board. It represents the night sky. And the piece of the two players take turns placing their moons in the sky. And the first to get 3 moons in a row wins.
Oh! So
ايه
it's
اكس او
board.
بتملعبونا.
So, it's called Moon Chess here in
I see. Well, in this version, so, when the night sky is full, the moon that rose
That actually makes a lot of sense. And it
So, would you like to give it a try?
sounds fun!
All right then.
لعبة الاكسو هسه بخسرها.
Moon Perhaps like this. Huh. I must have. Thank you. I enjoyed that a lot. If you'd like, feel free to come keep me company here. Take this as a token.
شو اعطتنا كولومبينا بعد فزنا على اكس او؟ حسيت اعطتنا اشي بس مش عارف شو هو. تعال نشوف شو صار معنا هون. يا اخي الاقمار هاي اللي باكلها نفسي اعرف شو هي. حاسس بالاخير راح يصير اشي. هون هاي الجناح، هذا الجناح شكله بخوف هذا. بس نخلص ليش صرنا ضل واحد مهمة مهمتين ثلاث أربعة، 4 مهام. يلا قربنا. اوف ضايلها يوم و22 ساعة بتخلص. الحمد لله قدرنا نجيب هذا وهذا وهذا وهذا، يعني قد جبنا التيم كامل. اول مرة بيصير ما يعني دائما هذا عوفني، اجى عندي باخر لحظة. مشكلة الاسلحة. بيتي الاسلحة عندي قد ايه؟ 7، حتى 5، 6 ب35، 32. والله ما بتجيبه. حابب اجيب سلاح فلنس، خليه اذا قدرت اجيبه بجيبه.
into some kind of trouble. Let's go check out what's going on.
Exactly. But none of them believe.
Still no dice?
Not at all. And I've asked pretty much everyone in the court of... Lynette's ears drooped as soon as she heard that we'd have to be out and about for days on end. And Fremine, he hid himself under his helmet as soon as he realized there'd...
What about Chiori and Charlotte? I feel like both of them would be more than up to it.
I've asked them already, but they're both pretty busy right now. I just gave the members of the
This...
Navia, Cloran, what's up?
Oh my. Well, if it isn't my dear partners. How are you all doing?
Huh. Navia?
Huh? Oh, you mean...
Yep, this is our chance.
Do you need our help with something?
Oh, precisely.
Whoa, for
Absolutely. We've already exhausted all our other options.
Traveler, Paimon, would you join us and play Marechaussee Hunter Judgment Day?
Marechaussee what now?
It's a new game script by the Tabletop Troupe, a local roleplay adventure club.
Ever heard of the Tabletop Troupe? They put out games that allow you...
That sounds super interesting.
Clorand and I are both veteran members of the club. Recently, someone came up with a new script, and when they asked, of course I couldn't refuse.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Anyway, the script calls for a team of 4. Ah, yes. We're missing one final player right now.
So, you're saying you'll help us out? I knew I could count on...
Paimon and the Traveler are kind of a package deal.
That's not a problem. I'll adjust the pace based on the actual number.
Well, Traveler, what do you think? Wanna
Well, that's all.
Woohoo! I'll go...
The script manager? Didn't you just...
The club introduced a... In this iteration, the Game Master's version of the script is incomplete. The script on top of that, in order to increase...
Wow, you're right.
And it's got a real help...
I look forward to experience...
Why don't you go meet up with you?
Sounds good.
You say that like, let me think. What
I just hope you'll pick up some useful skills this time. Sorry to keep you waiting.
You're back! Huh? And you've got the Traveler and Paimon
one with you too.
What a pleasant surprise. I assume you'll be joining us for the game then?
Linny, Farina! Paimon didn't know you were playing.
I'm more of a casual member, if anything. I'm sure it'll be fun being a
Well, I'm not a member of the club at all. Clarianne simply woke me up first thing this morning, said there was.
If you're interested, I can give you a referral. That should give you a 40% discount on membership fees.
I think I'll wait to see how this experience plays out first, especially when it comes to the quality of the.
Do you participate in a lot of tabletop troupe activities, Clarianne?
You could say that. She's actually one of the few senior game masters of the troupe.
Right. I knew about that even when she was still.
It's nothing. Really, just a small hobby.
Wow. Paimon's so used to seeing you be all upstanding and intimidating as the champion duelist. It's kind of hard to imagine you role-playing with a bunch of friends.
Surely you jest. I would never intentionally make things difficult for my players. I maintain a clear boundary between my professional and personal lives. The me you see at court represents the law and order of Fontaine. I put all personal feelings to the side and grant a fair duel to all who seek to defend their honor. But in my personal life, I'm just an ordinary person. Someone who feels anger and sadness.
Well, you say that, but for all the time I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen you cry. I've seen you get angry, sure, but now I'm wondering whether you were actually mad or if it just looked that way.
I was probably in work mode during those times.
Is that so? Well, in any case, I just feel like even in your
So you want to see me cry? That might be a little difficult. A show of anger, though.
No. I'm back! Here, allow me to introduce you to the script manager, Mr. Florian.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hello? Wait, are you a champion duelist too, Mr. Florian?
Oh, no. This is just the costume provided by the club. I occasionally play a few of the roles in my scripts.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a more immersive experience. Anyway, allow me to give you a brief. This script was adapted from the real history of the Marechaussee Hunters.
Paimon's not super familiar with the history of the Marechaussee.
Oh, no problem at all. I can give you a brief rundown. So, basically, Marechaussee Hunters were people who dedicate themselves to hunting monsters and protect. Their story can be traced back to the ancient Remurian dynasty, as well as the first hunter. But I'll leave the finer details for you to seek out and discover.
And I'll provide additional commentary as the story
In that case, brave hunters, are you...
Whoa, just one sentence and it's like we're in the story already.
Aha, I see many a determined gaze before me. Fair.
So, as we follow the story, it leads us to specific scenes? Ooh, sounds pretty innovative.
It's the exact location of the scene, as well as the formal permission. Please check all your belongings, everyone, and make sure you haven't forgotten anything. Once you're ready, please follow.
Sounds good. Hunter Squad?
Welcome to Cheeria Boutique. For tailoring services, please make reservation in advance.
wisdom will show us the way! Smite to dust! Without further ado, smite the dust! Divine light, shield them! There is no harm in claiming forsaken possessions. You should take it. It may prove useful. There is no harm in claiming forsaken possessions. A gift from the heavens. I shall gladly accept it. Lofty wisdom will show us the way! Without further ado,
Where to?
Will we be gone long?
really have thought of everything. Even the fatometer.
The fatometer. What's that?
It's a card that's used to determine action success or failure. We'll need to...
And what about all the dessert and tea?
That's what the message said.
Really? That's so nice.
Those snacks have Paimon's name written all over them.
I think you might be more of a snack hunter.
Snack Hunter Paimon reported for duty. If there are delicious snacks to be found, Paimon will track down every last one.
The desserts are great. But I'm still looking forward to the story more than anything.
Very fair. First, please pick up the blank character cards in front of you and write down your name and profession. You can find an abbreviated version of the rules printed on the back of your character card. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. In this story, everyone is a Marashosei hunter. To reflect this, the club has prepared a small badge for everyone.
Ooh, nice.
As hunters, you have proficiency in swordsmanship and fighting by default, so there's no need to allocate any additional skill points to those areas.
Swordsmanship?
Kinda like in real life. So,
Yep. It can be any name you...
you can use your real name too if you want. I do that whenever I get too lazy to think of a new name.
Oh, so it would be like experiencing a different life.
In that case, I think I'll continue to use the name Linny then.
Next up is the skill sheet. You have a limited amount of skill points that you can...
I'll take persuasion and investigation. Those.
Oh, those skills sound like they'd be useful for gathering intelligence.
So should we also take those skills then?
Not necessarily. Since we're working together as a team, we could leave the For example, I think I'll take stealth and sleight of hand. That will give us more options if we run into any situations we can't...
Oh, interesting. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I suppose it's not so different from an... Let me see. I'll take arts and performance. I'm not quite sure what use they'll be, but I'm not as knowledgeable about the other skills.
Well, that leaves us. What do you... Ha-ha! Gotta say, this suits you really well. Nothing boosts morale like good food. Ooh, so what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn these two skills? Sure, what do you want to learn? Oh, something that'll help you get a read on other people's thoughts. Sounds useful. Ha-ha! Gotta say, this suits you really well. So what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn these?
Let's see. Oh, looks like you each have enough points to choose one.
You've all picked such classic skills. It's fine to go a little bit out of the...
Why do I get the feeling she's getting ready to cause trouble?
For example, this one here. Summon. Doesn't it sound super mysterious and cool?
Oh, I saw that one just now as well. The description says, this skill can be used under certain circumstances to summon characters.
The script's world-building rules, huh? But how are we supposed to know what a Marashosei hunter can...
Oh, that's not for us to worry about, my friend. Just learn the skills that interest you. And the
All right, you've convinced Paimon. Let's learn summon then. Paimon can't wait to see what kind of thing shows up.
Well, now that everyone's more or less finished creating their character... Since two of our players are doing this for the first time, though, let me ask. Would you like to play on easy mode or authentic mode?
What's the difference between the two?
Well, in role-playing games, the story sometimes changes based on the decisions of the players and the results of the fatometer. For example, if you fail a check, that means you cannot use the target skill in that scenario. A critical failure may even result in further negative consequences. If you choose to play in authentic mode, every time you elect to use a skill, you'll need to use the Fatometer to see whether you succeed or fail, and face any consequences that may follow. If you choose easy mode instead, every check will be successful by default, and you won't have to worry about luck.
Given that I'd like to focus on the story, I suppose I should pick easy mode. I'd feel bad if I brought the team down by failing my checks.
Huh? Oh, come on. Don't worry about that. RNG is the lifeblood of role-playing games. Never knowing what you might have to overcome. Ugh, doesn't that sound exciting?
I'd rather be mentally prepared for what might happen.
All right, then I'll mark down Farina for easy mode. All her checks will be successful by default. As usual, Navia and Linny will play on authentic mode.
What about you, dear partner? How would you like to play?
Are you sure?
No need to worry about the pesky Fatometer. Pretty good choice if you just want to relax and play the game.
Honestly, I don't think Clorand would make things too difficult for us, no matter what the Fatometer says. Isn't that right, Clorand?
No problem.
Well, speaking of the story, why is the beginning scene on a beach?
Well, that's because a long time ago, back when human civilization was still in its infancy, powerful demons and evil sorcerers ruled over the land. They created a host. Soon, a group of human rebels banded together. With their swords raised, they swore to brave the darkness, and in doing so, subdue each and every monster that sought their destruction. Sometime later, as a member of the Marachose Hunters, you receive a commission. Following the address provided on the message, you take a boat and arrive at this strange city. As you inhale, you can taste the slightly salty air of the docks as you begin to survey your surroundings. There aren't many people in the vicinity, but you do take note of a few others who, like you, seem to be sizing up this place. Your eyes meet, and you realize these people are fellow Marachose hunters, likely led to this location after receiving the same commission as you.
You're all Marachose hunters too, right? Allow me to introduce myself. The name's Navia, monster hunter by trade and helpful neighborhood businesswoman on the side. What say you to traveling together? We can help each other out on the road.
Okay, my name is Linny. I've been wandering since I was little and picked up a few less than legal tricks along the way. I was adopted by a Marachose hunter and later chose to follow in his footsteps.
Is this where you introduce your character to everyone? It sounds like they've done this dozens of... My name is Farina, and, I grew up in a noble family. I always had a strong interest in performance and the arts. Even though I'm a Marcia Say hunter, what I really want is to be a.
Hey, you can do it, Farina. That's exactly how it's done.
Paimon is Paimon, a good friend and companion to this Marashosei hunter right here.
I've been studying the culinary arts since I was a child. I hope my delicious food can help boost people's spirits.
That's wonderful. I'll be looking forward to your cooking during our adventures.
Well, if we're all here for the same commission, why don't we take some time to confirm what we need to do?
You open your envelopes at the same time. The message reads, "To the honorable and trustworthy Marashosei hunters, our kingdom is currently facing a grave The lands outside the capital have been overtaken by monsters, and our people are being led astray by forces of wickedness. We beseech you, please help us."
Huh. The layout of this city looks super familiar. It kinda reminds.
The scriptwriter must have used a real-world city as a reference when coming up with the map.
As experienced hunters, the layout of the city reminds you of places once traveled. You recall the sight of tree-lined streets and the gentle. Yet, as you regard the city in front of you, it appears to be little more than an empty shell. Its hollow gates are open to you, beckoning you to come forth.
I carefully read every line of the letter and turn my attention to the signatures at the bottom. Who issued this commission to us?
You see a long string of unfamiliar names. It would seem that many of the residents of the city issued this commission together. They sensed that things were not.
In that case, why don't we take a walk around the city and see if we can learn anything from the local residents?
Oh, good idea. We might be able to get some leads on the monsters and bad guys we're after.
You look up and see a tavern nearby. It appears to be open for the day.
Why don't we go check out that tavern? If the novels I've read are anything to go by, taverns are usually full of information.
As you approach the tavern, you find a plainly dressed woman standing nearby. She appears to be rather troubled about something.
Greetings, friend. Lovely weather we're having today, don't you think?
Oh, hello. I suppose you're right. The weather today is quite lovely.
It seems like every character included in the script has a certain amount of useful information to offer. If we keep asking questions, we might be.
Oh, come now, don't be sad. Life is all about optimism. Oh, that reminds me. What did you have for breakfast?
Huh?
I don't think that's the kind of question we're supposed to ask.
Nothing turns a frown upside down like good food. How about some macarons? I could make you some.
You didn't even take cooking as one of your skill proficiencies.
That's not necessary, miss. Excuse me for saying this, but you don't really look like a chef. Besides, I'm not really a fan of sweets.
So you're someone who barely smiles and doesn't like sweets. You're really starting to remind me of this one friend of... Hey! Did she just... me?
Chlorian must have broke character for a second.
This isn't getting us anywhere. Traveler, maybe you can think of something.
Are you sure? In that case, please refer to the fatometer.
Whoa, it was a success!
You remain silent as you prepare a pot and fire to use for cooking. The woman stares at you with her mouth agape as you skillfully cut the ingredients and after some time, a rich aroma begins to fill the air.
Please have some food. Who knows? Maybe you'll feel better.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Wait. So, as long as you pass the check, you can pretty much do anything? And it won't be seen as absurd?
Oh, thank you. You were right. This food really did make me feel better.
So, what had you so worried earlier?
Okay, let me fill you in. A horde of monsters suddenly appeared near the capital recently, so all the guards were dispatched to fight them.
Do you remember when those monsters appeared?
I'm not completely sure.
Do you know where he was sent?
It all happened so fast. When we said our goodbyes, he couldn't even tell me where they were sending him.
You have our thanks, friend. We'll find and defeat those monsters as soon as possible. We sincerely hope your husband will be—
Don't worry. We'll find him. We don't always get to choose what happens to us. But we do get to choose the little things, like what we eat and how—
I'll do my best. You bid farewell to the woman and continue your journey further into the city. As you venture further into the city, the streets appear largely empty. An elderly woman walks past. You see her shake her head as she puts away her wrinkled wallet. A nearby merchant folds his arms and gives you a disdainful look. You get the impression that he's someone who has long gotten used to the sight before him.
Although he doesn't seem very friendly, merchants are usually a good source of information, right?
Pardon me, sir. I'd like to ask a question if I may.
That depends. How much are you willing to pay?
How about this much?
What do you take me for? Some lowly beggar? You can't even buy half an onion with that amount.
Surely an onion can't be that expensive, right?
What do you know? War's nearly upon us. Everything costs several times what it did before. If you're not gonna buy anything, then
Whoa, what a nasty guy. Maybe we shouldn't even bother talking to him.
But he still might have information we need. Traveler, can you think of something?
Okay, while everyone is talking, I secretly use my magic props to summon a bottle of wine without the merchant noticing. We meant no offense, sir. Here, allow me to offer you this bottle of vintage wine, made only from the finest grapes. I'll just leave it here. Please. I should mention that this wine is the perfect accompaniment to a meal. I'd suggest enjoying it with dinner.
All right. Go on and ask. What do you want to know?
Do you have any information on the monsters or the crisis that has overtaken the kingdom?
Crisis? If you ask me, there's a crisis everywhere you look. Those monsters are camped outside the city. We have limited reserves within the city, so if this continues, we're all gonna be in big trouble.
Wait, you're saying no one has put a plan in place to distribute supplies or maintain order?
We could all starve and who knows? Maybe they've been in cahoots with the monsters all along.
That is thank you, sir. We won't take up any more of your time now.
Hey, why did you leave in such a hurry?
Well, you see, that bottle of wine was just a cardboard prop.
Should we try to go somewhere with more people?
Oh, how about the city square? Follow me.
Before you lies the city's central square. You see a man with a slightly anxious look on his face, pacing back and forth, his head hanging low. He doesn't seem to notice your approach. Still immersed in his own thoughts, he shakes his head and lets out a long sigh.
This guy seems promising enough. Maybe I can get some information out of him. Hello, sir. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Wait.
I'm...
Oh, dear goodness! You're a Marashose hunter!
You recognize us? Ah, are you one of the people who wrote the commission letter?
Yes, yes! Oh, I didn't expect you to actually come! Oh, what great news! The city is saved!
What happened here?
Alas, we once lived comfortable, carefree lives. This city used to be free of monsters. The first Marashose... However, monsters have once again surrounded the city. Perhaps the seal that kept them at bay has lost its power. Or perhaps an evil sorcerer has been meddled...
Are there not enough soldiers to drive them out?
It's not a question of numbers. The guards simply have no idea how to deal with them. Most people my age have never even seen one of the monsters, much less been trained to fight against them. What's worse, many of us don't even know the history of the Marashose hunters anymore. When I was a child, though, my grandfather would tell me stories about how the Marashose hunters drove back the monsters. To be perfectly honest, I was starting to think all those stories were just tall tales. But now that I've seen you...
Well, you can rest easy, friend. The righteous and formidable Marashose
The man is touched by your determination and resolve. His eyes begin to well with tears of relief.
Still, if we are going to hunt the monsters, we need to know where to find them. Can you give us any leads?
All I know is that the area outside the city is dangerous. I'm afraid I can't point you toward a specific... Oh, although, if you leave the capital through the main gate and follow the road, you should run into a group of guards. They might know more about where to find the monsters.
I see.
All right, be careful. Oh, and one last thing. The monsters outside the city are just part of the problem. There are evil sorcerers inside the city as well, so be on your guard. They're actively working with the monsters, and have corrupted the court ministers with malicious magic. They're the reason why, even one of our kindest ministers has turned into a boorish and unreasonable figure, interested in nothing but enacting laws that exploit the people. Who knows how much longer we'll be able to go on like this.
Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I feel bad for him. Maybe we should try to cheer him up?
I appreciate your kindness, but for now, it's more important to focus on the crisis at hand. Brave hunters, I leave the future of this kingdom to you.
If I understood correctly, there are currently 2 problems in the kingdom that need solving, right?
Exactly. We need to defeat the monsters outside the city and take down the evil sorcerer stirring up trouble from within.
But which problem should we tackle first?
Well, this seems like a good moment for a break. Take some time and discuss what you want to do. Let me know when you've made your decision.
I really didn't expect the people in the city to keep us at arm's length like that. I totally thought the hunters would be treated like heroes.
Well, Clarin said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right? Maybe the real-life Marachose hunters were also treated like that.
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history, but there are definitely some similarities. Would you like to hear more about it?
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script. You brought up bits and pieces of the hunter's history before, but it was all in passing.
Paimon wants to know too. The hunters were super powerful, right? Were they all from a special line of supernatural beings or something? Kinda like the yokai in Inazuma?
No. All Marachose hunters were ordinary mortal fighters. The only thing that set them apart were the special sword technique.
Huh? So you mean anyone could become a Marachose hunter?
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is survive the rigorous training and master the sword. Still, most people dropped out at the early stages, and others called it quits the minute they saw—
What kind of monsters did the hunters fight exactly?
The land of Fontaine once played host to an ancient dynasty known as Remuria. After that dynasty fell, monsters began to appear. One of the ancient sorcerers of Remuria used his power to assemble a formidable army of golems. He sought to use that force to establish himself as king.
Now wait a second. Don't tell me that guy was the inspiration for the evil sorcerer in the script. We still haven't found any in-game information on him yet. So, why don't you talk about someone else for now?
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But if you want me to talk about something else, then— how about Casiodor, the Golden Hunter? Or Egeria, the ex-Hydro Archon?
Wait, but those people are all from a super long time ago. Where did you learn all this, Clarin?
From my master.
Huh. By master, you mean Miss Petronia?
Someone you know?
Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my father were good friends. Back in the day, she would often—
Let's not get off topic. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed Casiodor into battle against the monsters. This group of warriors, under Casiodor's leadership, became known as the Marachose Hunters. Yet, as Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually became obsolete. The Marachose Phantom, originally an association made up of hunters, eventually came to—
I see.
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can get tough always being the one shouldering everyone's expectations.
Depends on who you ask, I suppose. If the name of the organization no longer commands respect—
Speaking of investigations, which problem should we tackle first? Monsters or evil sorcerers?
I vote monsters. That's the main duty of the hunters, right? We can come back to the sorcerer later.
Well said, Miss Farina. Plus, if the sorcerers really are the masterminds behind this whole thing, defeating the monsters could give us some clues on their intentions as well.
What about you, partner? What do you think? I mean, you're not wrong. But those characters are usually the ones pulling the strings behind the scenes. More often than not, they're very formidable opponents. Going after them now might be jumping the gun a little. We don't want a total party kill on the first day, right? With Clorand as the GM, I wouldn't rule out the Then it's settled.
All right. After some discussion, you decide to turn around and head out of the city. Outsiders, halt!
Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a tall, muscular build and a determined expression in his eyes. Just one look, and you can tell he's fought in his fair share of battles. Although he's trying his best to conceal his current state, his uneven gait and the sweat dripping down his forehead. I'm the captain of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the city earlier, so I'll only ask this once. State your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since someone's been this suspicious of us.
I said talk, not whisper between yourselves.
Have you ever heard of the Marchese Hunters?
Marachose hunters? Ha! That fairy tale, you mean? What, you expect me to believe you're one of them? While everyone is talking, you begin to carefully observe the captain's mannerisms. Every so often, you see him glance toward a particular direction, with a pained expression on his face, as if an invisible thread is tying him to it. As you follow his gaze, you vaguely recall that the location he seems fixated on is known for its difficult terrain. Any battle that breaks out in a place like that is likely to be prolonged and devastating.
Is that where the monsters are? Outside the forest in the area with the difficult terrain?
The captain is taken aback by your sudden question. Still, you're looking to fight the monsters?
Well, we're Marachose hunters.
He shakes his head and continues to regard you with skepticism. In the end, he decides to inform you of those monsters aren't easy to deal with. But if you insist on going, I won't stop. I just hope all the guards will be able to come back to their families alive. I wish you the best of luck.
Based on what the captain said, the monster should be right up ahead. Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
As you approach the battlefield, you see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds. A few of the wounded look up at you in shock and disbelief. Quick, leave this place. Turn around and don't look back, they yell.
This is the place he mentioned, right?
You see broken iron swords scattered. All the signs point to one thing. A truly devastating battle just...
Be on your guard, everyone. The monsters might still be around.
Before you can finish your sentence, you hear rustling sounds from the surrounding bushes. The monsters have emerged. They close in on you without fear. You get the impression...
A little help here!
Your battle round...
Strike a pose!
And voila!
Coming at ya! Fire! Well,
next battle round begins now.
Watch out!
The monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment before dissipating into
Ugh, thank goodness it's over.
We're lucky the Marashose Hunter class came with all those preset skill points.
I never knew the phytometer even determines the amount of damage you inflict. If you get...
That's part of the fun. The uncertainty of fate is...
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump on the ground catches your attention.
A suspicious lump? Wait, could it be the thing that appears after every battle?
I walk up to it, crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it. I've still got my right glove on, so it should be fine for me to touch it, right?
As you investigate the mound, you discover that the exposed portion with the monsters gone, the small protrusion now awaits your discovery. Poking out of the ground.
Whoa, it's a treasure chest!
With everyone's help, you successfully excavate the wooden chest from the ground, even without opening it. You can tell from the mora and jewels scattered around the chest that it must...
Makes sense. We worked hard for this. Let's open it and we can share what's inside.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think about it. Doesn't it seem like there are people out there who need this treasure more than us?
Yeah. Think about all the people suffering in the capital. Or all those guards who got hurt fighting the monster.
Wait, is that how it works? Paimon thought since we were the ones to dig it up, we could just take it for ourselves.
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game can impact the future course of the story.
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're Marshase hunters. What if they think we procured the treasure illegally? They might get...
That's definitely something we should consider. Maybe we can come up with an explanation in advance.
Well, if donating it could cause that much trouble, why don't we use it to buy some gear and fill up on good food? That
Looks like you're facing a difficult choice once again. Well...
Wow! Where did the time go?
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all, or because the story is particularly enticing, but I feel like I could almost keep going.
Here, here.
I'm not sure I'll have enough energy for that.
Yeah, that won't work for me either. Lynette will give me an earful if I get home too late.
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change venue.
Huh? Another location?
Mm-hmm. There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to proceed to an indoor set for the next part of the script.
Whoa! They really pulled out all the stops for this new script.
Well, even if we end the game for the day, we can still stay a little longer and hear Cloran finish her story, right? Paimon wants to hear more about the history of the hunters.
Something tells me you just want to finish the free desserts before we break for the day.
That's just a coincidence, okay? Besides, to Paimon, not finishing free food feels even worse than having to buy her own. And anyway, Paimon really does want to hear more about Cloran's master.
Well...
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern, but it's all in the past. It won't do any harm to share these things now. My earliest memories are of living with Master. According to...
What a heavy beginning for a life story.
Master was a fascinating individual. If inexperienced in the ways of raising children, my first ever toy was a short sword. Although I suppose...
Oh, wait, so she handed an actual sword to a child? Isn't that dangerous?
Of course I did. I cut my palm and bled quite a lot. But Master was not concerned. See, that's what you get for not holding the sword properly, she told me.
Excuse me for asking this, Clorand, but how old were you exactly when all this happened?
Probably around, 3, give or take.
3? Isn't that when most kids are still struggling to hold a fork?
As I said,
I'm not so sure this is a question of experience.
I didn't see anything wrong with her ways at the time. And anyway, children don't get to choose how they're raised. Oh, she did bring me back a pet from Liyue once. It was a Geovishap hatchling.
A Geovishap hatchling? For a pet? That seems even more dangerous!
What she said was this: make sure to get along, you two. If you really can't agree on something, just settle it with a fight. Whoever loses is the real...
And how old were you when this happened?
5.
Well, did you win?
No,
So, you're saying you actually became the Geovishap's pet?
Yes, but only for a week. By the end of that week, I defeated it in combat, and we've shared a cordial relationship ever since.
That really doesn't sound like the kind of childhood someone should have.
Later on, I gradually understood that Master most likely didn't know any other way to raise a child. She was a marechaussee hunter. Thanks to her, I learned how to navigate the forest by the age of 6, and could hunt monsters in the wild by myself the year after that. Even though the training she subjected me to was strict, she always made sure to take me traveling when she had the time. We met...
I still remember the first time we met. You were too scared to join our...
I still hadn't really met...
After that, though, you started coming over a lot. You loved challenging people to shooting competitions.
I had a lot of fun during those days.
I enjoyed them, too. Oh, do you remember that one time we went exploring around the Spina together? We overheard Papa call your master Fontaine. We tried to pretend like we never heard anything, but you nearly let it slip that one time.
Protector of justice. Oh, wait, you mean that vigilante hero from 20 years ago? The one who is always active at night?
Yep, that would be her. She often would put on a black cloak and go out at night. I never knew where she went or what she was doing. Until, like Navia said, we overheard the truth from Mr. Callis that...
20 years ago, huh? I still remember the guards leaving all kinds of witnesses. Oh, there's no need to apologize. You had nothing to do with it. And anyway, although calling herself the Protector of Order was a bit much. Especially when she
Huh? When did the Protector of Justice become the Protector of Order?
Oh, she had a bunch of code names. I heard she would just come up with a name on the spot whenever she was asked. Later on, she probably got sick of answering those questions and decided to...
That sounds like her, all right.
Well, she certainly sounds like a fascinating individual with her...
It's true. I always wanted to become...
But...
She suddenly disappeared the night I turned 10 years old.
Disappeared?
I have no idea. She didn't even leave a note. That night, I was celebrating my birthday at Navia's house. But Master never came to pick me up. When I returned home on my own, when she still didn't appear after a few days, I went to Mr. Callis's house to ask about her whereabouts. But he only shook his head.
Papa probably didn't know either. I know he sent a few people to investigate the matter in secret, but they never found any credible leads.
Don't worry, I understand. To be perfectly honest, given Master's personality, and just like how, when a litter of kittens.
Were you upset, Clorand?
I was at first.
Well, despite everything, you still managed to follow in her footsteps and become the greatest champion duelist in all of Fontaine. You're practically a living symbol of law and justice.
I suspect my position would be far too by the books for her. Master always did whatever she pleased. But
I wonder if Clorand's master were the champion duelist back then. Oh no. Judging by the atmosphere, Clorand and Navia are probably thinking something similar. The mood just got super.
Well, anyway. Would you look at the time? It's getting dark, so we should.
I had a great time today, Miss Clorand.
anytime.
The script was good. Hey.
What does she mean, on to something? I certainly don't know any 5-year-olds who want to fight a bishop in their spare time. Guess I'll head back as well. I need to save my energy if I want to.
You're that excited?
I was talking about the script.